What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have American in the UK, 21 British culture shocks and surprises. Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's dive right in.
Hi, I'm Annie.
And I'm Zach, and we have made a decision to move our family from California all the way to Bonnie, Scotland.
And as you can see with this beautiful scenery, we are actually in Scotland right now, and this brings us to our 4th video.
It's a big number.
We're moving on up in the world. So in today's video, we want to share with you some of the cultural differences that we're noticing after being in the States. Well, you for the 14 years and me my entire life.
Yeah, even though we've not been here too long, there are still some things that we've noticed pretty quickly, and things for me that have changed since I've been gone and now I'm back. Some pretty big ones as well. Really important stuff that's changed that I was completely unaware of, such as Ryder's voice in Paw Patrol is entirely different over here. Peppa Pig stays the same, but the Paw Patrol pups, they get a new voiceover in Scotland. So.
That's so true. I'm gonna have to include a clip.
Zuma, it's submarine time.
I thought you'd never ask, Ryder.
All of them got different little voices, which is really funny.
I have to say I like the voices better over here, so
I
there's
feel
that.
that.
So we have a list here that we're going to reference because we don't
I
really
absolutely love that because it's little things like that that you just don't even think of that when you hear like, yo, like that's crazy. Like I would have never imagined. I thought Paw Patrol sounded the same everywhere, of course, unless it's speaking a different language. But that's funny.
have good memories anymore. Oh, your passcode. All right.
This first one is something I didn't even notice, and apparently it was, maybe I don't use my phone enough, but Annie noticed it immediately when she got set up with her UK phone number.
Yes.
And that was?
The ringtones are totally different. When you're sitting on the phone and it's ringing and you're waiting for someone to pick up, the ringtone over here is a deep, like beep, beep, beep.
Very different. Very different.
It was literally the first thing that she mentioned when she made her first phone call to me, that the waiting ringing in your earpiece was apparently so different that it caused her quite a shock. So
I mean,
something else to look out for. How will we survive?
Oh, another one. Hair tools over here are extremely efficient and way hotter. So the time it takes me to dry my hair using their hair dryers is halved. It's incredible.
Yeah, those extra voltage or extra volts, they cut down my wait time. Let's just put it that way. What else?
Yeah, I was gonna say that because I was like, yeah, I heard that like in the UK, like they have a stronger voltage, and so that's with like the electric kettles, like the water heats up really quickly for you guys, and then we have electric kettles over here. It probably takes almost like, whereas for you it may take like a minute and a half, it may take 3 to 4 minutes here, because of the voltage difference. That's crazy to think about. But yeah, like she said, her hair time is half, like because of the stronger voltage.
Oh, one thing, I thought this was going to kill me, and that was having to line dry your clothes, or is that what you call it? Yeah. So after you do your wash or your laundry, what they call washing, you have to go and put them on a line to have them dried out. And then if you're lucky enough, like some people have dryers, so you can throw them in to get the last little wrinkles out and last little bit of that dampness. But
This one is completely backwards, and even when I moved over to the States, I was like, why don't people hang their clothes out here? The weather's so much nicer all the time. Whereas here, You're in, out, whether it's raining or it's sunny or it's windy or whatever. And actually, for a little bit, tried line drying our clothes in California, and then realized that a massive tumble dryer is way quicker and way less work.
But I have to say, I thought it was going to be horrible, and it's been pleasant actually. The weather's been beautiful, so I haven't had to run out and take them off and on
Just you
constantly.
wait. Those winter times are coming. I don't eat many salads, so you can take that one on.
So we like to have a good old salad in California, a nice fresh salad with all the fixings. But one thing that you don't get over here are many salad dressings. In the US, there are thousands of types of dressings. And here you have what they call salad cream. There's like one standard salad dressings. Is it not correct?
I know, it just makes you think like, must have come about in like the wartime. It's like, rations are here, you have one way to dress your salad and you will be thankful for it.
I mean, you can get Caesar, Thousand Island going through, but there are a lot more choices for salad dressings in the United States, which it's just a preferential thing if you have the one you like here or not. But just something we noticed.
That is another one in general, the grocery shopping, which we'll get to, or
We'll talk about it now.
Well, I was just going to say in that regard, in the States, you have so many more choices for everything, whether it's cereal, salad dressings, breads, everything, milk, types of juice.
It can be to your detriment because if you have any type of difficulties with decision making, then you're never buying anything in the US with the amount of choice. But I do have to say, there's a lot more choice now than once again there was 10 years ago when I visited.
Yeah.
That's an embarrassing one, number 7.
I feel like, just growing up with the convenience of having a dryer your entire life, like, I feel like it would be very difficult to switch and not have one. Like, I feel like the dryer is just a necessity. It would just be an absolute necessity for me because it's so convenient. So whereas not hang drying, I feel like if you grew up like that, then it wouldn't be a problem. But she said it was very easy to adjust to. I mean, when the weather's good, you just adjust quickly. But just the convenience of a dryer for me, I think that would be difficult to give up. I don't eat salads either, so I don't care what kind of dresses you put on there. I won't eat it. So, but we do have a lot of options. And while I do love having options, I think she's right. If you're struggling with decision making, like it can be to your detriment. Like when I'm making certain foods, I will go in there and I'll find a brand that I really like. But I'm like, what if I like a different brand better? So I'll try every single brand in there. And there's a lot of brands to go through just to come back to the one that I ended up liking maybe when I tried it the second time. But I had to go through like 15 other brands just to make sure that this one was the best. So it can be to your detriment for sure. And never go shopping on an empty stomach. But I'm sure you guys know that one because especially here, bro. Oh my God.
Ben, you want to talk about that?
I do. I would love to talk about that. So, in the States, if you're in a restaurant and you go up to the server and they'll say, "Is your order for here or to go?" So that's the vocabulary Annie was used to. So we went to a sandwich shop. This was a long time ago, and what the people say here is that are you sitting in or taking away? Like, are you sitting in the restaurant to eat or are you taking it away home? Annie wasn't ready for this. So Annie heard sitting or takeaway. And we were intending to sit. So Annie proudly said, yes, sitting. To which I just laughed behind her and the person looked a little strange.
I looked like a complete idiot, but...
There's many more of those stories. Yeah. Oh yeah. Delivery times, especially with Amazon, but especially out with Amazon. Next day delivery, unless you're with Amazon, is not happening.
No.
It's like old school 3 to 5 day delivery window, if you're lucky. Yeah. Nothing happens on the weekend. There's a bank holiday, nothing happens on that Monday holiday.
Yeah.
You order on Friday, you're getting it Wednesday, Thursday next week if you're lucky. But again, that's, I guess, leaning more towards our slower, simpler pace of life. So again, possibly a refreshing change that not everything is now, and if you want it, you get it immediately.
It's actually something that I want our kids to not feel like they can have everything at a moment's notice.
I feel
Also,
that.
sorry about whatever tornado is happening behind us. We looked all over the place for a good filming location, and I think we chose poorly.
It's a good transition to our next point, though. If the sun is out, you are out.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's windy or cold, or even there's a sprinkling of rain. If the sun is in the sky and you can see it and it can see you, you are outside.
Without a shirt on.
And you may not have your shirt on or anything on the top half. And even if that only lasts 10 minutes in the day, that is, you have your shirt off for 10 minutes because you truly don't know when it will come again.
Another one is...
Oh, I can't imagine that, bro. He said when the sun is out, you're out, which I absolutely love the sun. Like, I love summertime, my favorite time of the year, being out and about, go to the park, go to the pool, go do all these. But if the sun is out and it's windy and it's cold, I'm not out. I I hate cold, bro. Even if the sun is out, but if it's too cold, then I don't like cold. One, as you can see, like y'all see it every single video. Y'all don't ever really see me in a t-shirt, do you? Never see me. I'm always in a hoodie. Like my body just needs to stay warm nonstop. And I live with a wife who gets hot very easily, and I get cold very easily. So we compromise. Put the temperature on what she likes. Yeah, that was a compromise. Putting it on what she likes. So yeah, I'm just gonna be in a hoodie and sweats every single day of my life. But yeah, and then the takeaway, yeah, just different kind of phrases, not here to go, sitting in or taking out, which I mean that'd be very easy to adjust to. But if the first time you hear that, it might be a little surprising because what you mean? I don't think I heard you right. But I love that. Yeah, but weather, sunny and hot, I'm out. Sunny and cold, I'm in.
When you're driving, there's a lot of mileage between one exit to the next exit, which we learned. On our way to school one day, there was some type of road closure. I think there was flooding. And
in between the beautiful sunshine, we then had flooding on the road.
So we were not able to take our normal exit to drop the boys off for school, and therefore had how many?
Well, yeah, you'd expect like, we'll just take the next exit. That'll be a mile away, mile and a half at most. This one was an 8-mile round trip just to get back to where we needed to be.
I thought it was 8 miles to the next exit.
Yeah, that might.
Because it took us more than 20 minutes to get back. It took us closer to 30 minutes.
We went a different way because
school,
8 miles, and then there was no warning either. There was no warning. They have the digital signs on the motorways that can tell you stuff, but nope, just some cones along the exit and closed. No, like go this way and you'll be to your point.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we were late for school in our first week, but that's okay.
Another thing having to do with cars is, although the scenery is the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed in my life, our children are extremely prone to car sicknesses. And when we're driving on all these windy roads, even if it's only a 10-minute drive, by the time we get anywhere, our kids are blue. I feel like that too. And it can be a little bit rough. So we have to mentally prepare for our drives now. We're not just on freeways going for 15 straight miles. And it's bittersweet. You have the beauty, you have all the green, but then you also have a sick family.
Here's one that always annoyed me, and I never understood it. Until I learned why. When I was a kid, if you went to the sweet shop or the candy store and you had £2 in your pocket, you could go to the pick and mix and pick out £2 worth of sweets, of candy. Go up to the register, here's £2, and you walk away. Whereas in the States, if you see something on the shelf that's $9.99.
Take your best guess.
$9.99.
You might have enough. You might not.
You got your $10 bill. You can't buy that. You're not getting that. Which I never understood. I don't know if you get good at fast maths when you're a kid. And you can calculate
percentages.
Tax. But I guess you got to remember what state you're in as well.
That's thrown me because it was like 6 or 7% most of my childhood, and now it's 9 to 11% in some states. Crazy. So I can't do those percentages quickly in my head anymore, and that really threw me.
You just smile and swipe and hope you got enough to cover it, because you don't actually know what the bill is going to be, and you're just trusting that they're doing their calculations correctly.
Talking
I guess.
about smiling and swiping. The next one,
sadly, that you're absolutely spot on. I love the way Europe does it in a sense of, what is on that price when you grab that item? What's on the price tag of that is exactly what you're going to pay. That's the price. Whereas in the U.S., you got to add sales tax, and you don't know. I mean, we are good at fast math, but I honestly don't know the percentage of the tax I'm paying on these items. And I'm just like, I'm adding $1 or $2 extra every time I get to the register in my head that way. If it's under, I'm happy. If it's over, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But I would love to just see the price tag and pay exactly what is on the price tag so I can know for sure that I have it or don't have it. It is frustrating to be guessing. To be guessing all the time, because sometimes I'll be like, bro, that tax is ridiculous. That's way too much tax. And then with the exits being that far away, that's something that's insane to me. Especially when driving in the U.S., you're driving on the interstate, you miss an exit, your next exit will be in like a mile, and you can go back and figure it out. But 8 miles, that's insane to me. Like it's just foreign. It's very, very foreign to me. And with the car sickness, I've never had car sickness, so I can't really say too much on that one.
Wanted to segue. The next one I wanted to mention was in the grocery stores. I don't know why we don't do this in the US. It's a genius, but you have the option of having a scanner with you that you actually take around the store and scan items, put them into your cart, and then when you check out, it takes away that entire process. Amazing.
Yeah, that was like new technology before I left, and it was kind of cool. Like the kids love it as well. So you grab something off the shelf, scan it with this little handheld thing, goes in the shopping trolley, and at the end you just take the scanner and scan the screen, pay your money, and
it keeps them preoccupied throughout the store visit, and then you don't have to wait forever scanning each item at the end when they go buck wild. So I've appreciated it. Oh, we should talk about another kid one, is the orientations. Just for our youngest son to go into nursery, or he'll be going into primary 1, which is kindergarten equivalent. He's having a 6-week orientation to get him prepared for this. That is just unheard of.
Like 1 hour a week for 6 weeks. It's not like a boot camp.
But they they have all of these pre-planned
Goodbye,
activities.
son. Enjoy primary 1. We'll see you in 6 weeks.
Very well. So he gets to meet kids his age. He gets to meet kids the year above him that act as a mentor. And then he also gets to meet the children that are going to be the oldest in the school that he's going to. So really cool all the way around. He'll get to know his teacher. I love this setup. It takes a lot of the anxiety and stress out of the process.
Especially for him, because he knows no other kids right now, obviously. It's been great. And
your mom's school does the same thing. So it's not just our school. It's done around Scotland. I don't know if England's the same, but it's
I know in the States, like they have like a welcome day or an introductory session, but it's usually just like one day, I think.
Like an evening where you go and meet the teacher. We got an individual tour of the school for our oldest child as well. He got to meet his class. They actually postponed the day he started by 1 day just so he could have this tour and meet his class in like a casual environment. And then we got to see the uniforms and how everything runs and plays out and what you need to bring for lunch. And it just made for a really, really smooth transition, which only helps when there's a big move going on. So we sold a bunch of our stuff before we left, and on Facebook Marketplace, and a lot of those transactions went through Venmo. And when we came over here, if you're British, you might not know what Venmo is. It's like a PayPal.
We've not even looked if there is an equivalent yet.
Yeah.
But the reason we've not looked is because everyone here just seems to do bank transfers. Like, if you want to buy something from somebody, or if you've got a tradesman doing work for you, you can obviously pay cash, but It's, all right, what are your bank details? Like your sort code and your bank account number, and then you just transfer
instant transfer money.
Yeah.
So even for Facebook Marketplace pickups, I was shocked.
Look, this is your dream right here.
Yeah. I feel like now, like, we do have a bank-to-bank transfers is like Zelle, I guess, would be the only thing that I could think of. Honest, Zelle, no charge, bank-to-bank transfer. It is very nice. I prefer everything to go through Zelle. But yeah, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, you have all these different transfer apps. But when you transfer it in your bank, you got to pay like a small like fee, like 1-2%. I don't know, something like that. I don't like that. If you want an instant, you can get it without the fee, but it take 3 to 5 days, and I'm an instant person. Oh, so yeah, I want it in my bank account immediately, so I'll take the 50-cent charge or whatever. But yeah, we don't have like not everybody has bank to bank transfer because I guess not everybody has a bank account. Some people don't have bank accounts. They got Cash Apps, they got Zelles, they got all these things. They don't have a bank account. So yeah, that's where that comes in. I really think the one that stuck out to me the most was I think it's awesome to like as a child, like going into a new school, you get to meet your teacher, you get to meet the oldest kids, you get to meet the kids a class above, you get to meet the kids in your grade, like, and you get to do all this like 1 hour a week for 6 weeks, like, and so when by the time the school starts, you're comfortable with how to get around, you're comfortable with all the kids you're gonna be around, older kids, kids your age, all of that, like you're not stressed, you're not worried or anything like that. We have a meet the teacher night before school starts, and it's kind of hectic. So many kids trying to come in, meet the teacher, so many parents trying to introduce themselves, but it can get very hectic, and I like this idea a lot more.
So one thing that we have marked is that overall, I would say the people are more insular, more quiet and reserved. And that fits me great. Well, at least as far as I think I have a bit of social anxiety when you get into large groups of people, or when you go somewhere and moms are talking outside of the school and waiting for pickup. I feel like I don't know. It's just,
I think it explains my ability to stand next to other people and not be uncomfortable being in complete silence.
But
whereas Annie can't handle that and needs to like say something.
It makes me extremely uncomfortable, but then I also in those moments feel like I have word finding issues and then can't make a normal conversation and just lose all sense of pride.
Yeah, people are still very friendly and very nice here, but if definitely. You're not wanting to talk to anybody a day you do a school pickup, you can just stand by yourself, not talk to anybody, and nobody will think anything of it. I
happily stood by myself every day.
Smiling, and not saying a word to anybody.
Along with every other parent in the vicinity.
It is also, I don't know if it's changed, but it was sort of, if someone just randomly smiled at you and was like, hi, good morning, or something, you'd be like, what's that person doing? Whereas in the States, that's completely normal and expected.
Although, what I do have to say about the Scottish people, when you do start talking to someone, friendliest, most wonderful people to chat with. Everyone actually seems interested in what you're talking about and doesn't seem like a chore for them. So I enjoy that.
Yeah, I think, I don't know why it is. People just don't initiate. Yeah, they just keep to themselves a little more, and that's fine by me.
Food doesn't have as many preservatives, so it goes bad quicker. So we are going to the grocery store every other day. Definitely. And quantities are smaller, so you do just have to go to the store to get cartons of strawberries
when you have
daily.
3 kids and a 2-year-old who eats a whole tub of yogurt in the morning, like they're the ones we find so far are not very large, and we're going through strawberries, which are in season here and they're really nice, and yogurts almost daily.
Bread and milk.
I
feel we are just
at least the bread
buying out the store
that we're buying. Like it comes in like weird, like half loaves. Where we could definitely do with the entire full loaf. But yes, fewer preservatives, even in their fast food. Like I saw an article that the McDonald's French fries or chips over here have fewer ingredients in it than in the States. And we have talked about in the past where we can come over here and kind of go on holiday mode in terms of what we eat. Sugary treats and cider and beer, and then when we go back, we've somehow magically not put on any weight. We've overcome that so far, though. We've managed to put on some weight since we've been here. We've been really, really trying, and we've succeeded.
We've achieved.
Yeah,
we've achieved well.
When you're,
we're gonna get ourselves back into shape at some point. We'll see. Maybe.
Tell me a different.
I love that though. I love people because I'm very introverted. So yeah, I could stand and we don't gotta talk. I'll just be on my phone and just be standing by a bunch of people without having to start a conversation. So that's cool for me because yes, I am definitely a very introverted person. I don't like talking to people. Like if you talk to me, like I am very friendly, very approachable, and I will carry out a conversation. But I don't initiate, I guess, in a sense. So I might be a little Scottish in me. That's all I'm saying. Food, we talked about food a little bit earlier. Yeah, you guys, I mean, have much less preservatives. A lot of stuff we put in our food is banned by your food people's, like your food equivalent to the FDA. Y'all's people is like, that ain't healthy. I think somebody explained it in the video perfectly when they say like our food people are more reactive. Like it has to be proven that can actually hurt someone before they ban it. Like people have to be hurt before it gets banned. Whereas in Europe, it has to be proven that it will not hurt anyone before you guys will allow it. So that's completely different philosophies. And I do like your philosophy, definitely when it comes to your health. But let's let them keep going.
Different sizes, millimeters, centimeters, inches. And our combination of what we use.
This has been a little tricky. Buying things for our house, such as a dining room table, everyone does it in centimeters.
Or millimeters.
So
your table is 2,527 millimeters long, and you just have to try and figure out what that is.
And I'm trying to wrap my head around the centimeters, millimeters, but it's just something I haven't lived with my entire life, so it takes so much thought to do the conversions in my head. I'm like, okay, an inch, 2.54 centimeters. That's probably
amazing.
36 inches. And then I'm doing this mental math.
Rain Man over here.
No, everyone learns that. And
no, they don't.
Yes.
I don't.
Because you didn't need to know inches.
And I empathize because when I went over to the States and I was trying to do everything inches, I knew what a meter was and I knew a centimeter, and you have 10 millimeters in a centimeter and 100 centimeters in a meter, and it all made sense. And all of a sudden you're talking about, I still don't know how many inches in a foot. 12, 14, 16? I forget, honestly.
12, 14, 16. I started thinking about how many inches in a yard for a second. I was about to say 36, and then I'm like, that's not right. But yeah, 12 inches in a foot, 3 feet in a yard. So yeah. So I get confused sometimes.
It better be 12, otherwise you're going to look silly.
No, it's 12. This is one that I'm going to have to get used to. And it is, someone told me this, actually I think it was one of the expat groups that I joined, that if you are a type B person in the United States, then you are above a type A person here, and we're seeing that to an extent.
I don't know what type
this
B
culture is extremely relaxed, and that's one of the reasons that we were drawn to it, and we wanted to have a slower pace of life, and we enjoy a slower pace of life, but we do not enjoy a slower pace of renovations.
We walked past somebody doing landscaping work. They working for the local council, and in the States, if you're doing any landscaping work, you have either an electric, but probably a petrol like weed whacker thing to do your edging and stuff. Nope, not this guy. This guy comes out with something that must have been constructed in Victorian times, a manual edger. So it's basically like a giant pair of scissors with two long handles on it. He's going around this thing. It's a big giant flower bed.
Just to give you an idea, the flower bed is probably, should we do it in
millimeters?
I can't.
It was like 10-foot diameter.
Okay. Yeah. And we dropped our son off at school, watched that, came back maybe 25 minutes later. The man was still going around.
And there was like 8 of these to do.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And the next, and then the next day, a lot of people have like these little paver slabs on their driveway, and the next day we see our dear neighbors, and they have the world's smallest brush on the world's longest pole, scraping the moss out of every single one of these tiny little paver gaps, where there's definitely a power tool for that.
There is something to be said about them just keeping with something that they've done for a long time.
And they were both
embracing that.
Husband and wife were both at it together, just enjoying their day, and maybe they had no other plans, but just seemed like a lot of time spent on something that could mean sped up. But yeah, that cracked us up. We couldn't believe it.
I think that's pretty much the majority of the ones we wanted to talk about.
And the ones we've discovered or realized so far.
Yeah.
There's probably more, and it is kind of cool for me to see now, especially with kids. Like there's lots of different things we're exposed to with the kids. See how that's done, and then for me to witness Annie going through what I went through, moving from Scotland initially to Georgia. Now that is a culture shock.
I got to take Zach to some monster truck rallies. He went to the University of Georgia with me. Got to see the Bulldogs play in the stadium with 90,000.
Which is bigger than our national sports stadium here. So that was mind-boggling.
90,000 viewers. It was just incredible getting to open his eyes up to certain things, and now he's doing the same for me.
Versus our Highland Games, which have maybe a couple thousand and a man with a dog and some sheep, and yeah, a little bit different. So
it is, but it's been amazing so far. I can't wait to see what's to come, and you'll get to see it with us
if you tune in and subscribe. Right?
Oh,
that's what you do.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And like.
Thanks for warning. Thanks for warning.
Thanks for
warning us.
I absolutely love that video. And those are definitely culture shocks that I feel like anybody would have moving over to another country. And yeah, I mean, I would love to visit Scotland. I would love to visit a lot of the UK, but maybe I can one day. That's all we got. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, check out the next. I'll see y'all next time.